Sometime in the 300s BC, Plato, not the putty stuff, but the philosopher, wrote the Republic. And in the Republic, there's the famous analogy about the cave and all of that stuff going on. But one of the most interesting things he focuses on is what is the best type of government, hence the name of the book being The Republic. And what he starts off with, he basically starts off with the top of what he thinks is the best kind of ruling style, and then explains how that digresses going down the ladder. And so the peak for Plato is to have a philosopher king. He really thinks highly about philosophy, you can tell that. But a philosopher king, because that person would have the autonomy, the authority to be able to rule, have all the power he needs, and because he's a philosopher, to be able to do it well. The problem with any kind of structure of ruling in this world is we don't have any perfect philosopher kings, whether they're in different levels of government or even on smaller scale levels. There's always some fault going on. There's always some power grab or some ulterior motive that can creep into any structures of power. And that's why Christ being the King of the universe is such a radical thing. Because of all the scripture passages we could have heard today, we get to hear the one where he's ruling on this throne. It's so backwards from everything that we think of when it comes to being in charge of something. Because too often we've experienced people who, when they're in charge, they use it to their advantage to get whatever favors, wealth, power, pleasure, prestige. And yet when Christ rules, this is how he does it. Christ says over and over in the Gospels things like, I came not to be served, but to serve and give my life as a ransom for many. And in that upper room, the night before he died, he takes off his outer garments and washes his disciples' feet. He does the work of slaves and says, as I have done, you shall also do. So if any of us want to be good leaders, Christ is telling us we have to be good servants. We have to not be in this for the power, the prestige, the wealth, but we have to be in it for the souls that we're serving. Servant leadership is this new radical idea that Christ has brought us. So any of us who aspire to do that, I think it's a good gut check. Am I doing this role, whatever this leadership role, for myself or for others?